YouTube, it's Pearly Whites. So today I'm here to give a little update on my DAT preparation and to talk about a sincere favorite topic of mine, which is, sorry, excuse that noise, my sister's on the phone and she's a little loud. But anyways, I'm here to give an update on my DAT preparation and to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is bad breath. And also excuse the clothes on the bed. I'll try and block that. Yes, my room is clean, just not at the moment. Okay, so for the DATs, I've been studying ever since June, end of May, June. I think I said that in my previous video, and right now it is September. So school started a couple days ago, and I'm already starting to feel like the rush. Like, I know I talk about it very calmly, but I'm actually kind of freaking out inside because it's in like 2 months, and I feel like I'm not ready. So far I've studied the natural sciences, which is the biology and the general chemistry. And I've started the perceptual ability test, which is what I was talking about before, like the angle ranking, the cube counting, the keyhole methods. So I've started that, and I've been practicing almost every day, so I'm starting to get the hang of it. And right now I'm on to the reading comprehension. Now, reading comprehension, I'm technically not a reader. I mean, I like reading, it's just, I just barely have time to read, so I'm not a strong reader at all. So that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to read scientific journals, I'm trying to pace my reading, time my reading, and I'm trying to research different techniques that I can do to complete the reading comprehension accurately and in a good enough time. That's what I'm working on right now, just as an update. So as I said before, I will keep you guys updated as the time gets nearer, and it's like 2 more months. I'm kind of excited and scared at the same time, but I'm just praying to God that I do well. And I know by God's grace, I will do well. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so now on to the topic I am going to talk about today, which is stanky breath. So personally, I don't really like stinky breath. I don't think a lot of people do. I find it really gross. I'm not saying I have perfect breath. I know sometimes I have bad breath too, depending on what I eat, or say if I skip a day of flossing or brushing my teeth. But I'm here to present to you ways of preventing bad breath and ways of improving your breath so that you won't scare people away. So for preventing bad breath, here are just some temporary ways of preventing bad breath. Obviously, the long-term way of preventing bad breath is by flossing every day and brushing at least twice a day to keep a good oral hygiene. But if you want some temporary ways, so say if like you normally do have stinky breath, but just temporarily you want to prevent it, like say if you're going out on like a hot date, or you're about to meet like your girlfriend or boyfriend's parents or something, or you're about to go for an interview and you want to prevent yourself from getting bad breath, here are just little tips that you can follow so that your breath will be smelling nice and fresh for those events. So tip number 1. Actually, before I start the tips, let me just give you a little background on bad breath. So how does bad breath arise? So bad breath arises from bacteria that's in your mouth. So already you have a lot of bacteria throughout your whole body. You have good bacteria, you have bad bacteria, and depending on what you eat or what you put in your system or what's already in your body, the bacteria, they survive and live from feeding on either what you intake or what's already in your body. So there are over 600 different bacteria in your mouth, which is actually kind of nasty. There's some good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. So good bacteria that could be used to, for example, help break down the food that enters your mouth. Bad bacteria, however, that could actually be negative and potentially make you sick. But good or bad, they all feed off of something, right? So here are some things or some foods that the bacteria actually feed off, and when the bacteria eats, obviously what goes in has to come out. So what they release is actually hydrogen sulfide, which is H2S for all you science or chemistry people out there. And what that is that's actually what you smell when you smell bad breath. That's you're smelling hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so here are some foods that the bacteria actually feed off of. Number 1, proteins. So proteins such as eggs, milk, different kinds of meats, chicken, beef, pork, lamb, goats, any kind of meat that you eat contains proteins. So tofu, for example, too, beans. Anyways, you guys get the point. So proteins are actually fuel for bacteria. So when you eat proteins, that also not only nourishes your body, but it also nourishes the bacteria. And so when they digest the proteins, they release the hydrogen sulfide, aka you get bad breath. Second type of food that bacteria feed off of is milk products. So milk products are also another kind of protein, and also they're just fuel for bacteria as well. Lactose, the bacteria actually digest. So milk products such as plain milk itself, ice cream, yogurts, frozen yogurt. Trying to think of any other milk product, but you guys get the point. You guys know what milk products are. Those also cause bad breath by fueling the bacteria. And honestly, I noticed this too because sorry, my light kind of fell. Yeah, because I noticed this too because even when I do eat meats, or I find like I eat cereal in the morning, I usually have this nasty taste in my mouth, and not knowing that I'm actually not only nourishing myself, but I'm nourishing the bacteria too. So if you want to be careful about that, after you eat those kind of foods, make sure you brush your teeth. Now, I'm not saying cut these foods out of your diet. Please don't, because these foods are essential to a healthy diet. You need protein in your system, and you need milk products in your system. But I'm just saying, if you have a special event to go to, or a special date or something, either avoid these products, or before you or after you do eat these products, brush your teeth, please, to avoid the bad breath. Other things that also do produce bad breath or give you bad breath are the obvious: garlic, onions, spices. Everyone knows what that smells like, or the aftertaste of that after you do eat those kind of foods with those certain types of foods also. So please avoid those if you want to avoid bad breath, or floss and brush your teeth after you do eat them. Other foods are foods high in sugars or carbohydrates as well, because if many of you do know, or if you don't know, carbohydrates are actually complex sugars. So if you break down carbohydrates, so say if you break down bread to its smallest form, you're probably going to get table sugar or some kind of sugar. So carbohydrates, sugars, candy, anything that contains sugar, which is almost everything that we eat, everything in my diet anyways, those can also cause bad breath, because they are actually also fuel for bacteria as well. So bacteria not only feast on protein, they not only feast on milk products, but they also feast on sugars. So make sure you guys watch out for that if you're trying to prevent bad breath. Also with sugars, chewing gum, a lot of people think that when they chew gum, their breath is going to smell fine. But if you guys didn't notice, because I actually noticed this too, whenever I chew gum, like say if I'm chewing stride gum, which is actually my favorite gum, but so say I open a pack of stride gum and I start chewing it because I feel like I do have stinky breath. So I'm chewing it, and then I'm talking to everyone like, hey, what's up? Yeah, what's up with you? How are you? Kind of thing. And I'm just talking because I'm confident that my breath is smelling fresh. Well, guess what? give yourself maybe like half an hour to an hour. When when the gum gets stale and all the flavor's lost and you spit it out, I bet you anything you're going to be left with bad breath. And do you know why? Because those gums contain sugar too. And what did I say before? Sugar is fuel for bacteria. So gums work short term, but after the gum loses its flavor and you spit it out of your mouth, you're going to be left with bad breath. So I do recommend, if you want a short term, maybe like a good breath for half an hour, you're free to chew gum. But if you're waiting for longer than that period of time, I suggest you don't chew gum. It's probably better leaving yourself with stinky breath than having stinky breath plus. Sorry about that, guys. I was baking cupcakes and my timer went off. I didn't want to burn them, but I'm back. So just to wrap things up quickly, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. But as I was saying before, chewing gum contains sugar, so no, do not chew gum if you want to abstain from bad breath. Other foods, just quickly, that you should also avoid to prevent bad breath is alcohol, which is obvious, coffee, which is obvious, smoking tobacco, which is obvious, chocolate also, because chocolate obviously contains sugar, therefore bacteria, therefore release of hydrogen sulfide, and therefore bad breath. So I'm sure half of this list is pretty obvious, and that a lot of you guys knew to avoid these if you want to abstain from temporary bad breath. But just to go over it again, do not eat protein, so i.e. Peanuts, nuts, milk, eggs, meat, abstain from those. Do not eat any milk products, i.e. yogurt, ice cream, etc. Abstain from chewing gum, things with sugar, carbohydrates, chocolate, tobacco, garlic, onion, spices, alcohol. And if you do eat these, please brush your teeth after and save us all the hassle from smelling your bad breath. Okay, so thank you guys for listening, and I will post another video soon, hopefully. These next couple months are going to be very stressful, so guys, please pray for me, and I'm open to any suggestions you guys have about studying for the DAT, and I'm open to any encouragement, because I can use all the encouragement I could get. So thanks for watching, and